You step onto the stage, heart racing, microphone in hand, ready to bring the house down with your carefully crafted jokes. The crowd is silent, expectant. And then, a rotten tomato hits you. Every word you're about to say feels like a potential landmine. Welcome to being a comedian in the era of woke culture, where the line between funny and offensive is razor thin, and the crowd is as likely to laugh as they are to cancel you. It's Saturday night. You've got a sharp wit, a killer punchline, and a whole room of people waiting to laugh. But you can feel it, right? That constant tension. One wrong word, one misstep, and you're no longer just a comedian, you're a hashtag. You're trending for all the wrong reasons. Doesn't sound like the comedy dream you signed up for, does it? No. But this is the new reality. Comedy used to be a free-for-all. But now? It's like playing dodgeball, except the balls are outrage, and everyone's in the game. Not so long ago, you, as a comedian, were free as a bird. You saw something in the news that you thought could be good material? No problem. Get to work crafting great jokes without worrying about what's going to be said about you on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram the next day. You saw some nonsense on TV or heard it on the radio? That could be golden material for your next show. Oh, wait. We're in this new gray, weird, unknown era where you don't know if joking about it is right. But it wasn't always like this, you know? Back in the day, there wasn't anything sacred. You could make jokes about everything. In fact, the more controversial the joke, the louder the laugh. Legends like George Carlin built careers out of poking the bear, questioning authority, and, yes, offending people. But today? It's less of a playground and more of a minefield. Say the wrong thing, and you're not just bombing the set, you're trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. Dumbass, retard, moron, just some of the compliments that modern comedians are gifted with. Or, if that doesn't make the crowd happy enough, trending posts asking to report your social media accounts to get you banned are usually the order of the day. Damn. If you're trying to get inspiration from big comedians like George Carlin and study his content, you realize, bingo, he had success because he questioned the established order. Now you want to do the same with your jokes. You elaborate some to question the modern established order, and then you face the consequences. Damn. Why did it work for George Carlin, but you're getting tons of threats, harassment, and censorship? How dare you question the woke established order? Your fault, bro. You deserve that banner going viral on social media with your photo and wanted on top of your head. The fact is, these days, jokes like that are a risk. Because in woke culture, humor that once sparked laughter now sparks fury. Okay, so let's adapt your life as a comedian to the woke era. You wake up, pour yourself a coffee, and sit down to write some fresh material. But instead of funny punchlines, your brain is busy running a checklist. Will this offend anyone? Will someone misinterpret the joke on TikTok? Am I about to be canceled for something I haven't even said yet? Is it okay to make jokes about sandwiches? Not even sandwiches are safe these days. Gluten-free crowd, we're looking at you. So you finally decide to make a joke. You need material, you're running out of time for your next show, and you're confused. You don't know if you did it right, but anyway, it's just a joke, and you do need material. Your life is comedy, no comedy means no food, no money. You decide to take the risk. You go to the stage. Your walk reflects stage presence, your attitude exudes confidence. You look at your audience, they're expecting your first line. You start your introduction, and when you deliver your punchline, you hear crickets in the background and a tumbleweed rolling in front of you. This isn't the Wild West, though. What's happening? Suddenly, the audience starts booing you and throwing things at you. What did I say, you wonder? Out of nowhere, a tomato seller shows up.
Who wants
Tomatoes.
peanuts? Peanuts. Hey, whoa, oh, peanuts.
Tomatoes.
Yes, good. Hey, peanuts.
Buy your tomatoes. Cheap tomatoes, he yells, and you start getting hit by stinky, rotten tomatoes. Your mistake, my bro, you didn't check the algorithm to see if your topic was 100% safe. You have a joke about the absurdity of social media? better check the algorithm. There's a whole army of Twitter warriors who might not find it funny. Make fun of certain politicians? Get ready for your inbox to be flooded with angry DMs from people you've never met. It's no longer just about writing jokes, it's about writing safe jokes. The kind that don't upset the delicate sensibilities of any group, demographic, or influencer. Because if you offend someone, you might as well retire your career on the spot. It's like trying to write comedy inside a straitjacket. And let's not even get started on the self-censorship. You find yourself asking, can I still joke about this? Will it make me seem out of touch? What if it offends someone I'm not intending to offend? Okay, so maybe this all sounds dramatic. You really want to succeed as a comedian, so you decide to start from zero again. You post on your social media, begging for forgiveness and promising to avoid certain topics. You go looking for another chance because comedy is your life. Only this time, you struggle to find someone willing to hire you as part of a show, or they're just reluctant to have you involved with them because of your background. But you apologized. What else could you do? Maybe selling your soul to the devil would work. This reminds you of Kevin Hart. The guy was supposed to host the Oscars in 2019, a career-defining moment. But then, boom. Old tweets surfaced. He apologized, and yet he was pulled from the gig for something he said years ago. Doesn't matter if he or you apologized. Doesn't matter if he or you grew. In woke culture, you're guilty forever. And we all know it's not just Kevin Hart or you. Countless comedians have had their careers hit by resurfaced jokes, past tweets, or old stand-up material. It's not just about telling the joke, it's about surviving it. Take the case of Dave Chappelle, whose Netflix specials sparked a firestorm of controversy. He's been accused of everything from transphobia to misogyny. People argue that his comedy is too much, too harsh, and, of course, too offensive. Sure, he has his defenders, but the backlash is relentless. But here's the thing, Chappelle doesn't care. He's made it clear time and time again that his job isn't to be liked. And that's part of what makes him great.
That ought to hold the little SOBs.
Or Ricky Gervais, who walks into every awards show knowing full well someone's going to be offended by his monologue, and he does it anyway.
You know, there's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy.
Bold move, but not everyone has that kind of armor. When did comedy get so dangerous? How did we go from celebrating free speech to policing every syllable a comedian speaks? Want to know what's really terrifying about comedy today? The rules are constantly changing. One day, it's okay to make fun of something. The next day, bam, you're public enemy number one. Take a joke about cancel culture, for instance. Comedians are absolutely allowed to make fun of it, right? Oh, but hold on, if you make fun of it too harshly or if you point out how ridiculous it is, suddenly you're considered insensitive. So what now? The joke is too woke? Not woke enough? It's like trying to hit a moving target. The thing is, humor needs to push the envelope. It needs to make us uncomfortable. It needs to take on the sacred cows of society. But woke culture has created this ever-shifting line that no one seems to know how to walk. Is it okay to laugh at ourselves? Can we laugh at politics? Is it okay to laugh at mental health struggles? Comedians aren't just balancing the material anymore, they're balancing a political minefield. And then there's the audience. Remember the old days when people laughed, and if they didn't like a joke, they would just not laugh? Ah, simplicity. But now, the audience judges you. And I don't mean the critically acclaimed comedy reviewer kind of judgment. I mean the can I post about this on Twitter and get this person fired kind of judgment. You might think you're crushing it, but behind the scenes, your jokes are being dissected, taken out of context, and condemned by the online masses. The backlash? Instant. The apologies? Expected. The consequences? Unpredictable. One tweet from an angry fan can trigger an avalanche of outrage that spirals into cancel culture. What happened to the audience that came to laugh, and only laugh? They're now sitting there, phone in hand, waiting for the first problematic word to pop up so they can unleash their righteous fury. Is it any wonder comedians are second-guessing every word they say? Here's the funny part, in trying so hard not to offend anyone, comedy has become, well, boring. You know what's safe? Jokes about puppies and rainbows. Oh, maybe rainbows aren't even safe now, you got me? But comedy isn't supposed to be about safety. It's supposed to be about pushing boundaries and making us think about the world in new ways. But now? Comedians walk on eggshells, dodging every potential landmine. Imagine telling a joke about, I don't know, sandwiches, and having someone from the back yell, what about people with gluten allergies? That's not comedy, that's a hostage situation. And yet, this is the reality many comedians, and you, face. Sure, some still push the envelope, but more and more, comedians are playing it safe. They're afraid that one wrong word will leave them blacklisted, under fire, or, at best, out of a job. And honestly, that's a problem. Now it's your turn, what do you think about this? Is it right to put so many walls around comedy nowadays? Is it the natural course of us becoming more civilized? Or are we restricting freedom of speech and turning into passive sheep who will soon neither question nor dare to speak about controversial things? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content.